Are you looking for a new gaming CPU, but don't know which one to choose because of the different options that are available? Well, in this video, we break down the top 5 gaming CPUs on the market this year, based on performance and situations they'll be used in. We'll be taking a look at CPUs in every budget range, so whether you're looking for the best budget-friendly gaming CPU that will give you reasonable performance at a great price, or a high-end gaming CPU for power users, we'll have an option for you. So if you're interested in finding out which gaming CPU will be best for you, stay tuned. All the links to find the best prices on all the products mentioned in this video will be in the description below. The products mentioned in this video are in no exact order, so be sure to stay tuned till the end so you don't miss anything. We'll start with the AMD Ryzen 5 3600, our choice for great mid-range gaming CPU. Just a few years ago, 4 cores was all you needed, mostly because a single company decided that for you, and for the longest time, that was what most games and desktop software were optimized for, until 2017, when AMD brought the Ryzen to the market with double the CPU cores for roughly the same price, and changed the world of gaming. The Ryzen 5 3600 is a great mid-range gaming CPU with a 6-core 12-thread processor that's built using AMD's innovative Zen 2 architecture. This may be the last-gen hardware now, but there's still a strong case to be made for AMD's Zen 2 CPUs with their solid performance, efficiency, and benefits like PCIe Gen 4. Plus, AMD CPUs have also had far fewer issues with side-channel attacks like Meltdown, Spectre, Foreshadow, and MDS, giving you some peace of mind as far as security goes. The Ryzen 5 3600 has reasonably fast multi-threading capable cores at a very attractive price. Not to mention, it comes with a cooler in the box. As for its gaming performance, this chip is in line with Intel's Core i5-10600K, a CPU that costs nearly $100 more and doesn't even include a cooler in the box. You can actually get a significant increase in gaming performance by simply upgrading to a Ryzen 5 3600. It's a fast set-it-and-forget-it processor that can handle common computing tasks with relative ease. This combination of good gaming performance and productivity has attracted tinkerers, content creators, and of course, gamers. The AMD Ryzen 5 3600 is just straight up one of the best mid-range do-everything CPUs. It's a solid mix of everything you need for a great all-around gaming PC, comes with a Race Stealth CPU cooler, and won't hold your graphics card back from its full potential. Most importantly, it gives great value without breaking the bank. Now we'll be looking at the Intel Core i7-10700K, our choice for best Intel gaming CPU for the money. Rocking 8 cores and 16 threads, the Core i7-10700K from Intel is a serious processor for gamers. It's not quite as efficient as AMD's Ryzen 7 processors, but it's still a great choice and is one of the best Intel gaming CPUs for the money. The 10700K has a base clock speed of 3.8 GHz, a maximum turbo speed of 5.1 GHz, and an L3 cache of 16 MB. And if you're an overclocking enthusiast, Intel's Turbo Boost Max Technology 3.0 will give you a new level of control over the overclocking process that can actually be useful in practical applications. The current generation of games will rarely use more than 4 cores and 8 threads, so if you're looking to purchase the 10700K for the current generation of AAA titles, or for online multiplayer competitive games like Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Call of Duty Warzone, or Dota 2, it may seem to be a bit of an overkill, but mainly because most software has been optimized for 4 cores max due to the architecture in place. So with these new doors opened up to beyond just 4 cores, you could also look at it as more of a future-proofing action rather than overkill. With these broader specifications, software is likely to change to suit this updated technology, and when that change happens, you'll be ahead of the game. The Intel Core i7-10700K may be viewed as a bit of an overindulgence, as its capabilities go beyond the current technological advancements of game development. But things can change very rapidly, and because of that, this chip is a smart investment in future-proofing. And while you're waiting for games to catch up, it'll give you great results for other applications like streaming or content creation too. And as far as Intel chips go, the 10700K gives you one of the best bangs around for your gaming dollar. Next, we'll be looking at the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X, our choice for best overall gaming CPU for most people. AMD's Ryzen 5 5600X is a 6-core processor that's a solid blend of Intel-beating performance in both gaming and application workloads. It even beats the Intel Core i9-10900K at gaming, which is an incredible feat given its price point, and is also one of the most power-efficient desktop PC processors around. The Ryzen 5 5600X is an excellent gaming CPU that competes at the highest levels of performance. The Ryzen 5 3600 is a pretty capable gaming chip that pairs up very nicely with a lower-end GPU like NVIDIA's 1650 Super, giving you plenty of performance. But if you're looking for a capable processor to pair with a higher-end GPU, like a 2060 or a Radeon 5600 XT, then the Ryzen 5 5600X is an excellent choice that'll give you a lot of uplift in gaming. You're also going to get a better FPS, and this increase in performance is going to extend to everything else you use your computer for. If you regularly jump into Premiere, the 5600X is actually a very capable workload processor. If you're primarily gaming and doing some creative work on the side, this processor is ideal. This is a true no-compromise gaming chip that's highlighted by class-leading application performance and power efficiency, with strong gaming performance thanks to its IPC gain. The chip is easy to cool and actually comes bundled with the AMD Wraith Stealth cooler. It's overclockable and supports 400 to 500 series motherboards and PCIe Gen 4. The AMD Ryzen 5 5600X is a 6-core shredder that smooths over the last few flaws of the Ryzen 5 3600X, and it cements AMD as a premier desktop CPU manufacturer. The 5600X is a beast for gaming in 1080p, runs at lower thermals than the competition, is backward compatible with older motherboards, and comes with a bundled CPU cooler as the cherry on top, making it a top gaming CPU choice that should satisfy most people. If you're interested in updated pricing on any of the items mentioned in this video, be sure to check out the links below. Prices update on these products almost daily with sales and general price drops, so if you want to find the most updated information, check the description. If you find this video helpful, please help out the channel by giving this video a like and tell us which product caught your eye in the comments below. This brings us to the Intel Core i5-10400F, our choice for best budget-friendly Intel gaming CPU. The Intel Core i5-10400F is a budget-friendly Intel gaming CPU that, despite its modest price tag, is still plenty fast and extremely affordable. The 10400F is a locked CPU, which means that there's no overclocking option with this chip, which is kind of a disappointment if we look at the Ryzen lineup in which every CPU is unlocked. You do get a cooler in the box though, which is a pretty nice touch. The F designation of the 10400F indicates that there are no integrated graphics, which is one of the cost-cutting measures applied here. All the F chips in Intel's lineup have their integrated graphics fused off, which is a good cost-saving measure as most people prefer to pair a dedicated GPU with these CPUs anyway. The 10400F is also limited to 2666 MHz in terms of RAM speed, which is a limitation of the CPU and Intel's cheaper B and H series chipsets. Most boards will happily run the 10400F at 3.9 GHz, so don't worry too much about the low base clock. In terms of gaming performance, the 10400F competes head-to-head with the Ryzen 5 3600 for about the same price. This is good news for people looking for good value options in the CPU market, as now they have the option to select a CPU from either Intel or AMD, opening up a new set of opportunities and choices. With that said, the 10400F is another option for you that makes sense if the Ryzen 5 3600 is out of stock, or really overpriced. The Intel Core i5-10400F is a pretty decent gaming CPU option and gives gamers the best value at this price point, and the money you save can be put toward the purchase of a good graphics card to pair up with this budget-friendly processor. Last, we'll be looking at the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X, our choice for best high-end gaming CPU for power users. The AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is an absolute monster of a CPU, bringing the biggest gen-on-gen jump in single-core performance in years, and is one of the best high-end gaming CPUs for power users. The AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is a 12-core 24-thread processor that has a base clock of 3.7 GHz that can boost up to 4.8 GHz. It has 64 MB of L3 cache, and it keeps the same TDP of 105 watts. What's new with the 5000 series is the new Zen 3 architecture that was built from the ground up with three main goals to achieve. The first goal was focused on single-core performance because AMD didn't want to just simply spread the workloads across a ton of cores. The next goal was latency. This means unifying cores in the cache in a continuous 8-core complex, creating better communication between the cores and lower memory latency by having more cache available. The last goal was efficiency, and AMD wanted to offer high performance while keeping the TDPS of the processor in check. But what AMD has really done with the 5900X shows in its gaming performance. If you look at the performance of everything before the 5000 series, you saw that even something like the Intel 8700K would give you better performance than a top-end 3000 series AMD chip. So for the longest time, the word on the street was that if you wanted the most FPS, you'd have to go with Intel. But now, it's more of a choice based on the game title. So where Intel may excel at a particular game, AMD might kill it on another, thereby leveling the playing field. The AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is an incredibly powerful processor, and goes way beyond what the last generation CPUs had to offer, and with 12 cores and 24 threads, a large portion of games should see a massive performance increase. So if you're a hardcore gamer or power user, the 5900X is one to check out. Alright guys, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and leave a like. If you're new to the channel and you like the video, consider subscribing. We do our best to keep you up to date with the best products on the market right now, so if you want to stay current regarding the best gear, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to check out the description for links to find the most up-to-date pricing on all the products mentioned in this video. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you back here soon for the next video.